Epiphany to action. Insights alone will move the needle. Action does. Epiphany to action is the podcast for executives, entrepreneurs, and decision makers who don't just want to think about change, but let it.
Yes, beloveds, welcome to a new episode of From Epiphany to Action. And I am so glad to be here today because it was like two crazy week I had last 2 weeks with everything going on, moving, building a new business, and so on. But I welcome you today. So we are going to get a great 30 minutes, 40 minutes with each other today. Okay. I'm your host, Aishel. You already know me. I'm an entrepreneur, and I love to do this to share knowledge, bring clarity where it's needed. And with this podcast, I really love to share some insights so you get as much epiphany moments as you can. And today's episode, as I said, is becoming. It's not that you have to become a data scientist. You know, the ones who are data scientists know that. But it's about uh, getting more soul aligned, a CEO with your business that already is, going on, and but this time through numbers. So let's dive into the one tool you might be ignoring at this point that could help you unlock your next level. This is where I want to bring you today. And as I said, here in this podcast we talk about epiphany moments in business, in leadership, in life, in love. We're talking about strategies as well, things that I use or clients are using, or things I've learned, and things like that. And today's insight is more like numbers don't lie. You already know that by now, that numbers don't lie, but ignoring them will cost you a lot. So pay attention to this episode, and I'll show you how to look at your numbers without without pressure and perfectionism. Just take it easy for yourself and make both intelligent moves with what I'm going to share with you, and things, insights that you will get that still feel aligned with who you are, with your mission, with your vision that you're aiming to move into this world. Um, you're a part, as I said, from Epiphany to Action, is a podcast, yeah, from my heart, where I choose to share as much as I can of my experiences. And, together we form a movement together, where intuition and intelligence, knowledge work together. So we don't guess our way to the legacy, you just know. And I'm here as inspirator as well, to lead it, lead with vision, and this time use data, use data and divine precision as well, because your inner spirit is important in this whole process, in the whole triad. And I guess you know by now because you've been listening to me for a while. So expect in all this podcast something like aligning with your strategy, real world application. As I said a few weeks ago, I had talked about AI and this kind of things, and AI powered growth, and let's say that hard led decision making, because I still believe as an entrepreneur that always go back to what do I feel. is this okay? And even though you stay in the analytic part of your brain, you still go down to, does it feel good? Is this the right thing to do? And so on and so on. If you are alone, as business owner, working alone without a team, as freelancer or things like that, or if you have a team, you still delegate, of course, to your team. But if it comes to uh, the C-level decision, you will um, move into the part and say, does it feel good? So I'm functioning like that. So I guess maybe you might do as well, because at the end, I will show you through this podcast as well how that is going to be a big benefit during your entrepreneurial journey. Okay, so the result that you will walk away with today are maybe three numbers, because I focus on three numbers that actually matters to you. Three steps that you can be using um, as data information without losing the creativity. The combination of intuition and insight, as I just said a few seconds ago. Um, I'll give also an example for for it all to stick in, in your brain, so you can come back and say, okay, let me go and listen again to the same episode. And by the way, I have also three final tips for you. Um, that you can take away, sorry, and act on it as well. So, talking about following, don't forget, if you're watching me on YouTube, uh, go subscribe for the playlist from Epiphany to Action. If you're watching me, following me on Spotify as well, you may go and look at me on TikTok as well. There I share more easy posts, but on LinkedIn I try to be more business wise and inspirational for all my community. And if you are joining me today, just I have to welcome you for the first time. And if you are following me a long time, since the beginning, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're supporting this podcast. And I say, as who I am, doing this is for me an honor, and I love to keep doing it as well. So at the same pace, I might say, after a few weeks, we are trying to bring you something where you can join forces with us as well and support this work. Okay, so let's dig in. Let the numbers talk. I mean, like, what numbers actually matters in this conversation on this topic. First of all, let me start with conversation rate. What percentage of your audience actually say yes to your offer, to anything you put outside there? How many percentage, if you have that data, if you have that information, is a great thing. Okay, these are the numbers that I think actually nowadays does matter in your business, and is a big instrument to get the right product uh, to your client. You know, because when your clients say yes, it might be yes on some several things. Let me say it like that, on several things. But we are going to go further in that later on. Okay. So the first number that actually matter in when you're using your data is your conversation rate. Why am I saying that? It's conversion rate. Sorry, conversion rate. So the conversion rate is very important in in the existence of your business, because if you put anything outside it and you're not converting it to paying clients, that means that you have to go back at the table and take a look what things have to shift or adjust for you to make um, the conversion you have on your paper. I mean, like you make prognosis and you make plans, you set goals. Maybe you might have find your game changer, but even the game changer is not converting for you. So that's something you have to take a look at. So the conversion rate is the first actual number and data information you have to collect to have in front of you. The second one is the customer lifetime value. And the thing is what's on your the one thing that is worth the time of your client. Okay, what's one let me explain in another way. What is the one client really worth over time? Meaning, so the value of your client not only today but after 3 months, after 6 months, a year, maybe 5 years or 10 years. What's the value? What's the value um, during the time that you have that client? Um, Actually, that this to get this data right in place, you need some other information below. I can get into it during this podcast, but you need several information so you can get this data right, so you can make the right decision. So, what's one client really worth over time? Very important data information that you have to dig in. The other one, the third one, is cost to acquire a customer. Every customer you bring in via advertisement, via any workshop, maybe you organize an event, or maybe you do anything. All these things that you do to get a client over in your sales sheets as a client is cost have some cost with it. You invest, you spend some money to get that client in in your business, and for the client to stay as well. That we already had about the lifetime, the customer lifetime value. This is one of the information that you need to have as well. So how many are you spending to get that client insight from prospect to real paying client? That is all about, because you have clients that's not paying, but this one I'm talking about paying clients. Okay. um And for these three data, if you track these three things, these three important numbers, you'd already have a clarity on what's working and what's leaking in your whole sales process. Let's say that. And I think also, the existence of your business as well, because if you don't have sales, you don't have a business. That's the thing. um you need clients to have a business, okay? Otherwise you are doing charity or things like that, and it's nothing wrong with that you can do that. But if you really want to build a life out of your business, these things are these three numbers, uh, you have to track them out of your data. And don't tell me that you don't have data, because every company have data, please. Even if you are a freelancer, you have data of your clients. And I think a lot of freelancers can get a lot of great information out of the data that they have, and they can use it wisely to get to not one client at the same time, but several. So that's story for another day. If you want me to make a podcast on that part, just let me know in the comments below. I will share my insights about how I think that freelancers can get also great information out of the data they have. A lot of them, maybe you're a freelancer as well, and you think I don't have data, but you do have data. Okay. So let me go also in 3 steps to let data guide you without losing your creativity. um, these 3 steps, I think they are easy, what I'm going to share with you. And the first one is review with rhythm. Review with rhythm, that what I mean is do or daily or weekly or monthly, maybe quarter or 6 months checks. Review. Don't wait for until things get out of hand. Then you're going to look at a dashboard. And I know, if you are a Power BI expert or something like that, you can easily create a dashboard. And there are a lot of dashboards out there, and I'm more a fan of Power BI one, because that's what I uh, know more of it, and that's where I have a business in as well. So if you want to know more about Power BI dashboards, you can comment, also put your comments, or approach me via DM on LinkedIn, and we can talk things further. Okay, so the first thing is review with rhythm. Your weekly, monthly, maybe daily checks are very important. The next step is, maybe you can dig in a few questions. Ask better question to your clients. Yes, even the clients, the paying clients and the non-paying clients. Okay, ask better questions. Ask better question to your team as well, if you have one, so they can dig in the right information and get the right information in front of you. So that's very important. So ask better questions, um, anywhere, everywhere, where it's needed for you to move on and get the best insight to take your decision. Okay. Um, So, for example, don't ask why isn't it working when you get the data and you see everything is red. Don't ask why it's not working, but ask which number, what are the numbers telling us as a team, in this industry, of the industry where you are in. What are the numbers telling you, and how can you make a change, a shift, to make it work, to get out of those red numbers that you have, you know. And sometimes it's very easy to adjust, and you can see in very short time a difference, but sometimes it takes time. But it begins with the right question. Ask the right question, uh, uh, um, to you, to yourself, to your team, and so on. So make work out of it. And the third step that I want to add to is to, um, when you do your adjustment when you see your data and you get the information that you get, do the adjustment like a leader, because you are the one leading this whole thing. Even if you're there or not there, you know your team look up to you, and they expect as well that you take decision as a leader to bring the company forward as much as you can. So don't get into drama, don't get panic when the things get red, and there's no need. I think a little CEO or a small, or a big CEO, whoever, for big company, It doesn't matter. Adjustments are is great. I experience adjustment as great steps forward. You know, every time we took a decision to bring the company forward, of course it's a risk. Everything is a risk, but you stay thinking positive that it's gonna work. And if it doesn't work, this is something where, I mean, like, where you have to um, uh, just like a leader, and just take your time, uh, look at your purpose, look at the goal you have, that white dot, stip, or whatever you call it on the horizon. Just keep on that path, and just don't punish yourself that, oh, it's not going right, and it's kind of, because you don't have time for that. It's time to take action. The moment you see it's not going okay, okay, just move in there. What's going wrong? How can we adjust? Which part have to be adjusted? Maybe you have to adjust the whole thing. You know, maybe you have to take a few steps out, and so on and so ever. But just get in there. Just get in there. Don't make a drama of it. Just use it. And I'm just jumping as well because time flies. Intuition and insights. This is a kind of superpower. As I said in the beginning, I will just focus on that later on. Now is that part. I think, and I know from my own experience, that when you have insights in the data and everything, and everybody bringing you all the explanation they have, maybe your C-level team members, managers, of however, great employees you have, or you are alone, might be also like that, but you have your experts around you to advise you. Don't uh, don't forget your intuition in everything. That's your compass. That's your compass. So your gut feeling is sacred. It's really your compass, and it makes you move into the right way, even though it doesn't feels like sometimes in the practical part, but your gut says go left. Okay, so just do it. I've done that a few times, and honestly, not all the time it worked, but most of the time it worked well. It worked well, very, very well. So your data is your map. You have to see it as it's the territory you have to move in. That's how you have to see the data. So your gut feeling is there, and you have your data. That's the territory you can use to take the decisions to bring your company forward. Um, and these two together make you unstoppable. If you can combine that, I I I I don't have to guess it because I know, but it's you to experience that. And I think by this time you have experienced it, and maybe to the business and too much analytical things, and you go, just thinking, only thinking, and not feeling any longer. This today, this might be an epiphany moment for you. Don't forget to feel. Don't forget to go to your guts and, hey, how do I feel? It will help you, I'm sure. You don't need to choose between your heart and logic any longer. And honestly, you never had to. You had to combine that always. Okay. So let me give an example uh, of all this, what I'm sharing with you. Let's say you have a conversion rate, your conversion rate dropped, excuse me, but your engagement went up. That can means a few things. I'm just giving you an example now, and you probably will find out other reasons, and so on and so ever. But I'm giving you an example. That might mean that your content is working, but your offer isn't landing in your audience. So there is some connection that's missing. Some things you have to dig in and look closer to make the right adjustment, so the so your offer can align with the need of your clients. Let me just take a sip of my tea. So your intuition might say something feels off, and I guess if you have this information in front of you, your gut feeling will tell you, there's something we have to work on. So your numbers say time to reframe the offer or test a new copy. It's all possible. And together, they save you time, energy, money. You know, uh, think about the benefits. If you can use the data, um, like I'm explained from the beginning until now, and get the result for you to get the results you want. But these steps are very important. And with this example, I hope I give you um, more to think about, maybe, and that you can use for your business, or also for personal use. Okay, so sorry, my voice is something today, but no worry, I have my tea. Hmm. So, before I close, let me share other things with you. Um, you don't need more followers, by the way. But if you have the right data with a focus, clarity in what you've been craving, I think all this you can find in your data, and out of your data, you can get the right product or service that align in the life and lifestyles of your client. So you can give them a solution or add on the solution they have, or it can be one or two or maybe a third thing you can do for your client. So uh, at this point, I want to urge you, if you're not using your data yet, or if you don't even know where you can find your data, how to collect them, and so on and so forth, drop something in the comments, because sometimes I take time during the week to read who's, you know, uh, uh, reacting in the comments. Um, and I just connect back, and I have, like I said, the possibility to DM me on LinkedIn as well, so we can talk things further. Um, and for immediate implementation, I wanted to share Oak. Also, hey, that was a Dutch word in there. I want to share also some little information with you. Um, so to sum up, pick one metric every week that you want to work with. Start small, stay consistent, and use the AI tools. There are, like, wow, thousands of AI tools, like dashboards, auto reports. Use ChatGPT. You have other new great things as well. I heard of DeepSeek and all this kind of things. There's so much going on. Trend styles, and trend analysis. Great information. You can get great information out of that. And if you have a tech team, or you have tech advisors around you. Let them help you to create a system that can help you get the data easy in front of you so you can manage with success, you know. And if you have clarity on your numbers, on in your data, the information that you have, the best decision you can make uh, to be of value in the industry where you are, and especially in the life of your clients. So, with this one, by saying this, I think I've shared enough with you today to inspire you, to give you that epiphany, these epiphany moments. Maybe, one is okay. That's why I'm asking you as well to share this podcast with people you know. I mean, like one is enough. And by one, we multiply, and so we can help as much people together. That's my aim. I just want to share the knowledge, and hopefully, you can embrace it, you can use it, and if you don't use it by yourself, share it with anybody else that needs this kind of information as well. And of course, I can dig into this topic deep. I can bring a lot of information in the podcast as well. Let me know if you want that, because the community is big. There is a lot of knowledge in the community as well, and great people, experts who wants to share with you. So let me know if you want that. I can be here. So I invite you as well, again, follow me and subscribe on the channels. You can listen on Spotify, of course, YouTube as well. I'm on TikTok, just to be there for a while. Visit the YouTube channel, and the playlist is From Epiphany to Action. Just subscribe and connect so we can keep helping you. Um, we are planned to bring more platforms in the future, but for now, we are just sticking to this one as we have. So I say goodbye till next week, and it's a great coming back with a very important topic today. I say bye bye. See you next week.